Well, for this. Most dudes I know would rather date a 5 or a 6 because at least they know they're with somebody who's realistic. Most guys I know want their life to be a 5. When you wake up every day, what you just want is a average day. You're not looking for a 0, you're not looking for a 10, you just want a 5. There's some men on the extreme who want every day to be a 10, and we both know men who have had a lot of 0 days. I've had a lot of 0 days. I would trade every 0 or 10 day to just have a 5. And I think that's where most men lean, is in the moderate. And the reason I continuously talk about girl world is because it pushes everything to those extremes of 0 or 10. The question I have for everyone is, how do we get things closer to 5?
It's some of the worst advice I've ever heard. Like, where's the ambition? Where's the drive? Where's the sense of growth? I would I want all 10 days. I know that's not possible, but I like to strive for things and fail at 8, fail at 7. I don't think most men are looking at the world like this, or maybe it's a generational difference. But again, this is some of the worst thinking I've heard in a long time from a man. And I get when they say about podcast equipment, right? And I'll say that about me, but no, I think men should be striving for to have as many good days as you can, rack them up, and one by one, line them up. I think when you always hit what you're aiming for. If you aim low enough, you'll hit it. And sure, bad days suck, but I would not trade out good days and bad days for average days. This is a one chance we get on this world. As far as we know, as far as we understand, I want it to be lit as much as possible. And if that means striving for someone I find to be the most attractive and fulfills all the things I need, then let me do that. Even if I fail, I'd rather fail in that attempt. And I think most men that are ambitious, are confident, are driven, I think they think the same. So, guys, before we continue to do a deeper dive into this one, because I think this one is important just in terms of recognizing where we're sort of headed, or where there's a larger subset than we probably once thought that agree with thinking like this. Just again, hit the like button, leave a comment, drop a comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss new uploads. Let's run this one back.
We're going to get in so much trouble for this. Most dudes I know would rather date a 5 or a 6 because at least they know they're with somebody who's realistic.
So when we do hear that, right? Because that's a thing that we hear a lot of. It's a true thing. That's He's not making that up out of nowhere. But I think when they say that, most guys would rather date a 5 or 6 rather than a 10. It's largely because they feel like nines, eight, nines, and tens have unrealistic expectations. They're delusional because their life has been very different from the average person's life. The things they want, the things they require, the things that are their non-negotiables. Maybe you having a yacht, maybe you having a place in Tuscany, right? There can be that because their life has sort of shown that they get that attention from just winning sort of genetic lottery and taking care of their physicality. So that's why men are saying, yeah, no, don't get with that, because they're very different. They live a very different lifestyle, have a very different mindset from you. Not because 5 or 6s are realistic. I think anyone with any type of set of eyes and any type of comprehension skills can, turn on their social media app of choice and see people who we would deem to be, average attractiveness, still having outrageous sort of like, demands. We saw that with the girl that popularized you know, the coffee date, taking us off the McAllisters. People were in an uproar because they were like, well, you're not really that attractive to be making those sort of demands. It doesn't really, it's incongruous. It doesn't make sense. But we see more and more and more of it. This is just where the pendulum is currently swinging. Regardless of how you look, you can have whatever demand you want. That's where the internet is right now. So dating a 5 or 6 doesn't necessarily mean this person that's going to be realistic.
Oh, want their life to be a 5. When you wake up every day, what you just want is a average day. You're
No,
not
no, 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 absolutely not. When I wake up, I don't want an average day. I want a phenomenal day. I want a fantastic day. I want a day so great, I'm going to go write about it in my diary, right? With my legs kicked up in the air, wiggling back and forth. I want a phenomenal day. And then I want another one and another one. And I want to line those up in a string of phenomenal days till I die. That's what I want. Is that realistic? No, but let me live in that delusion. Let me strive for that. Because who's responsible for a lot of that is me, how I interpret it, how I look at things in the world, how the day affects me, how things happen. I have to be the one that says, no, I'm taking this in stride. I'm thinking and looking at things like this. I do not get up, and I've never heard of men seriously saying, I just want an average day. But that's me. That's mine. That's my circle. If this is a thing, right? If people are just being so downtrodden, their hope is average, then what does that say for the partner you choose? What does that say for what they may want, what they any type of ambition they have? You don't really see the other side of that. Women are not saying, I just want average. That's just not where they're going. It's not where I think men should be going.
Looking for a 0, you're not looking for a 10, you just want a 5. There's some men on the extreme who want every day to be a 10, and we both
I don't think that's extreme. I don't think that's extreme. I think you want good days. I think you want great days. I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
both know men who have had a lot of 0 days. I've had a lot of 0 days. I would trade every 0 or 10 day to just have a 5. And I think that's where most men lean, is in the moderate. And the reason I continue
Now, do I think most men lean in the moderate? I think in a long enough group, a long enough sample size, you're going to get more moderate sort of ideas. But I don't think if you sample these men and you ask them, do you want an average life or do you want above average? Yes, some of us are not going to be able to break through the average or the below average, and that is sometimes a facet of the choices we made in life, the decisions we made, the baggage we now carry. Those are the things that may dictate where things can happen, things can go, where our new ceiling is. But by and large, I think we all want to make it. And by make it, I don't mean just being okay. We want the things we, and you can downplay, you can say it's as a capitalistic sort of nature, but I want a better life than my parents had, and I want to leave more to my future generations than my parents could for me. That's going to take an exceptional effort. That's going to take not trading the 0 and 10 days for average days for the rest of my life. Now, is this just again, maybe this is a function of how different, and sometimes when you look at, social media and you see people's personalities, people's ideas, and they're so far removed from your own, maybe this is one of those things that you get a wake up call. And if you're experiencing that right now, and, you know, uh, let me know down in the chat. Again, I don't really come across men that think like this, that believe in these things. And if I do, not that I have in this sort of sense, but when men have small minds and small ideas, we don't tend to hang out a lot at all, right? I excise those people from my life like a cancer. I want you to be over there with those thoughts. If that's what comes natural to you, that what makes sense for you, then please stay over there with that. That's not what we're trying to do over here. We want to be better. We want to be the best that we can possibly be. That's the standard. But again, I don't want to make it seem as if I don't have space or understand that for some people this may be their world and what they like, what they're striving for. I just hope that, you know, I just hope men want more for themselves. That's it.